Episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again begins where we see Matt Murdock at the coroner's office picking up white tigers or Hector Ayala's things. He wants more backstory of what happened to him. There's no shell casing, it's disappeared. And then Hector Ayala's niece comes in and really gives it to Matt Murdock, and then she just breaks down in his arms. We do know that she later on somehow becomes the White Tiger, but I'm very curious to see if we're going to see that in this series. And then this episode is really heavily focused on Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, which is still one of the best casting choices Marvel has ever done. And just the way he presents himself on screen, how the character is portrayed. He wants to get the ground running on a development project, but he has to go through certain things. Sheila is like, you have to follow certain protocols and everything. He doesn't want to do that. But then we see Fisk's right-hand man, Daniel, and he's like out in the club, but then he kind of tells BB something. She releases some kind of news saying that Fisk is against the union, this and that, yada yada yada. He wants to know who did it. Daniel steps forward, and you think he's going to do something to Daniel, but he doesn't. You think he's going to fire him or Sheila. He doesn't do that. And then we see Fisk and Vanessa in counseling again. We're talking to the therapist, and they're going back and forth, and they bring up Adam, and it's like, okay. And it's like interesting because you see Fisk not wanting to talk about certain things, but the therapist's like, no, you should talk about certain things. And she asks Vanessa to finish, talking and speaking about Adam, what is this, what is that. And that plays a part later on in this series. We then see Matt Murdock go in and kind of help I guess you want to say, a victim who kind of stole, but he wants probation because he's been in 30 days for jail, 20 days, and then he gets down to reduced to 10. And it's like the system, talking about the system, how it's so corrupt, how certain things happen. They don't care. There's so many corrupt cops, this and that. And then Murdock runs into Detective Powell. He really gives it into Detective Powell because he thinks he killed or had something to do with the White Tiger's death. He didn't at all. And then Murdock goes out to where the White Tiger was, they got rid of him. And then he tries to picture things. Where did the casing go? What's happening? He kind of, swipes at a bottle. It goes down, it rolls down into a sewer. And miraculously, he just reaches in and picks it up. Like, that's such a comic book thing to do. And I was like, wait a minute, just like that, you figure it out easily? And then he goes to see Frank Castle. John Bernthal appears as Frank Castle, and it's a really great back and forth dialogue sequence between the two characters. And it's just so good to see him back as the Punisher after, I want to say, 9 years, almost to the day, maybe, since he started playing the Punisher in Daredevil. And it's just really good to see that. Hopefully it progresses into more things. Hopefully this just wasn't a one-off appearance for a cameo. And then we see Fisk going downstairs somewhere, and he kind of sits down, opens, a cloche, and we see that it's filled with food. And then we see Adam being held against his will, and we finally kind of figure out why Kingpin has a lot of bruises on his hands. And then that's the end of the episode. But then we see another interesting comic book character come in, which is a little tidbit. So, this was episode 4. This entire season is 9 episodes. What's going to happen? It's gritty, it's fun, it's in your face, it's really good. Yes, I know some will complain, like everyone complains about something nowadays, that it's too slow, they're not getting to the point. Is he going to start wearing the costume again? What's he going to do? Is he going to fight is he going to be that vigilante again? Who's he going to team up with? Is he going to take out Fisk? Pump the brakes. Just pump the brakes. Let this series play out. Stop complaining, and then let's see what happens, because people complain too much about certain things and they don't see the progression of a season or a TV show. They want something done so fast. Let the show tell a story. This is good storytelling because you have good actors portraying the characters very, very well. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin and Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, Daredevil. A lot of things can happen in the next few episodes up until episode 9, which is the ending of season 1, and then season 2 is also 9 episodes, and then that's it. There's a lot of Easter eggs being planted here and there for who knows how many future Marvel shows or even films, but it's going to be fun to see how it finishes out, how it progresses, and it's getting gritty, it's getting in your face, and I absolutely love that about Daredevil, especially the setting of New York City, Hell's Kitchen, and just the surrounding areas of where they are. It's really, really fun, and they just, hey, I feel like Disney gave Marvel carte blanche to do certain things, write certain dialogue in there, because, hey, they're dropping the F-bomb here and there. I'm like, whoa, okay, it catches you off guard because you don't expect it from time to time, especially when it's a Disney show. So we'll see what happens in the rest of the season, but it's so much fun to watch. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the storytelling? Where do you think everything's going to go? What do you think the progression is going to be? And how do you think everything will wrap up in season 1 and move on to season 2? Let me know in the comment section about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episodes 5 and 6 review of Daredevil Born Again.